They told us the story was over. They showed us the final battle, the last goodbye, and the closing door. But what if that door never fully shut? What if something followed them back? Stranger Things Season 6 is not about starting a new story. It is about facing the damage left behind when the world almost ended. Season 6 exists because the war with the Upside Down did not truly end. Hawkins may look quiet on the surface, but silence does not mean safety. After everything that happened, the town is still broken in ways people do not want to talk about. Streets were rebuilt, houses were fixed, and life tried to move on. But fear stayed behind. People feel it in the air. They feel it when the lights flicker and when the ground feels wrong under their feet. The announcement trailer makes it clear that the danger is no longer loud or open. It is slow, hidden, and patient. This season is not about monsters crashing through walls. It is about what happens after survival, when everyone pretends things are normal even though nothing feels right anymore. The biggest change in Season 6 is the tone. This story is darker, quieter, and more emotional. The characters are not running anymore. They are standing still, forced to look at what they lost. Each of them carries guilt in a different way. Some feel they did not do enough. Some feel they survived when others did not. The trailer hints that nightmares are no longer coming only at night. They bleed into daily life. School hallways feel unsafe. Homes no longer feel warm. Even friendships feel heavy because shared trauma can either bond people forever or slowly pull them apart. Season 6 explores this pain instead of rushing past it. 11's story takes a different path in this season. She's no longer fighting to prove she is strong. She is fighting to stay human. Her powers once saved everyone, but they also took something from her. The trailer shows her quieter, more careful, almost afraid of herself. This season asks a hard question. What happens when the hero is tired of being the hero? 11 must decide if using her power again is worth the cost. She knows now that every time she reaches into the darkness also reaches back. Season 6 is about her choice, not her strength. Season 6 is not just about ending a story. It is about growing up. The group is no longer made of kids who can hide behind bikes and jokes. They are stepping into adulthood with scars they did not choose. Life is pulling them in different directions, but the past keeps calling them back. Hawkins itself feels like a reminder they cannot escape. The announcement trailer promises a final chapter that is emotional, slow, and honest. This is not about winning. It is about accepting what happened, letting go of fear, and understanding that some battles change you forever, even if you survive them. Season 6 changes the feeling of the story in a very clear way this time. The danger is not loud or fast. It does not rush in with alarms and chaos. It waits. The world feels heavy, like something bad already happened and everyone is pretending it did not. Hawkins looks calm, but the calm feels fake. People go to work, kids go to school, and life tries to move forward. Yet fear lives under every moment. This season focuses on that quiet fear, the kind that sits in your chest and never leaves. The kind that makes people look over their shoulder. Even in daylight, the story is no longer about running from monsters. It is about living with the memory of them. The characters are also different now. They are not the same people they were before the final battle. Trauma has shaped how they think, how they talk, and how they see each other. Some characters avoid speaking about the past because talking makes it real again. Others cannot stop thinking about it, replaying moments in their mind, wondering what they could have done differently. Season 6 shows how shared pain can create distance instead of closeness. Friends who once trusted each other without question now struggle to connect. Simple conversations feel awkward. Jokes feel forced. Silence becomes common, and silence often says more than words. Nightmares play a major role in this season. Not the kind where you wake up screaming, but the kind where you wake up tired, unsure if you even slept. Dreams mix with memories until characters are no longer sure what is real. The Upside Down may not always appear on screen, but its presence is felt everywhere. It lives in shadows, in sounds, in moments where time seems to pause. This season treats fear like a slow sickness that spreads quietly. You cannot fight it with weapons. You cannot escape it by running. You can only face it, and facing it is harder than any battle. Another key part of Season 6 is guilt. Survival comes with a price. Some characters feel guilty for living when others did not. Others feel guilty for choices they made during the chaos. This guilt shapes their actions. It makes them hesitate when they should act. It makes them push people away when they need them most. The story does not rush to fix these emotions. It allows them to sit, to grow, and to cause problems. This makes the season feel more real and more painful. It understands that healing is not fast and never clean. Season 6 also shows how the town reacts to the truth. Hawkins does not fully accept what happened. Some people deny it. Some people blame the survivors. Rumors spread. Fear turns into anger, and anger looks for someone to attack. The town becomes divided, and trust disappears. This creates a dangerous space where darkness can grow again. When people stop listening to each other, evil finds room to return. This season is not just about monsters from another world. It is about what happens when fear controls people from the inside. Eleven's journey in Season 6 is quiet on the surface, but heavy underneath. She is no longer defined by how strong she is or how many times she can save everyone else. After everything she has been through, strength feels less like a gift and more like a burden. The world still looks at her as the answer to every problem, but inside, she feels unsure. Power once gave her purpose. Now it brings fear. She knows that every time she uses it, she loses a small part of herself. This season explores what happens when a hero starts asking if being a hero is worth the cost. There is a clear shift in how 11 sees herself. Before, she fought because she had to. There was always an enemy, always a reason, always a moment where action felt simple. In Season 6, things are not that clear. The threat is not always visible, and that makes her doubt her instincts. She questions whether the danger is real or if it is fear left over from the past. This uncertainty is new for her, and it shakes her confidence. For the first time, she is not sure when to fight and when to step back. That choice becomes the heart of her story. 11 also struggles with identity in this season. For most of her life, she was shaped by what others needed from her: a weapon, a shield, a solution. Now, she wants something different, but she does not know what that looks like. She wants to live without being watched, tested, or depended on. She wants quiet moments, normal moments, moments where she is just a person. But the past refuses to let her go. The memories of pain, loss, and fear keep pulling her back. Season 6 shows this conflict clearly, not through action, but through silence and hesitation. Her relationships change as well. The people closest to her can sense the distance, even if they do not understand it. Some want her to be strong again, because strength makes them feel safe. Others worry about her breaking if she keeps pushing herself. This creates tension. Love becomes complicated when fear is involved. 11 feels trapped between protecting others and protecting herself. This emotional pressure builds slowly, making every decision feel heavier than before. Another important part of her story is control. In the past, losing control meant danger for everyone. In Season 6, control is not just about power, but about emotion. Anger, sadness, and fear all affect her abilities. She learns that strength without balance can be destructive. This season suggests that real power comes from understanding limits, not ignoring them. That lesson is painful because it means accepting that she cannot fix everything. Season 6 does not rush 11 toward a big moment or a loud fight. Instead, it allows her to exist in uncertainty. It shows her sitting with fear instead of pushing it away. It shows her learning that being human means being vulnerable. Her story is not about becoming stronger. It is about becoming whole. And that journey may be the most difficult battle she has ever faced. Season 6 places a strong focus on the group as they stand on the edge between youth and adulthood. They are no longer kids who can escape fear by riding bikes or laughing things off. Time has caught up with them, and growing up does not feel exciting. It feels heavy. Each character is being pulled toward a future they did not plan for. While the past refuses to loosen its grip, responsibilities are growing, expectations are changing, and the freedom they once had is slowly disappearing. This season shows how hard it is to move forward when part of you is still stuck in survival mode. Friendships begin to feel different in Season 6, not because love is gone, but because life is pulling everyone in separate directions. Some want to leave Hawkins behind and never look back. Others feel trapped there, unable to imagine life anywhere else. These different dreams create quiet tension. Conversations that once felt easy now feel careful. Words are chosen slowly, sometimes held back completely. The group still cares deeply for each other, but care alone is no longer enough to keep everything the same. Season 6 understands that growing up often means drifting apart. Unspoken guilt plays a major role in these relationships. Everyone carries memories they rarely talk about, moments where they were scared, moments where they ran, moments where someone else paid the price. These memories create invisible walls between them. No one wants to be the first to speak, because speaking means reopening wounds. Silence becomes a form of protection, but it also creates distance. The season treats this emotional gap with honesty, showing that trauma does not disappear just because time passes. Love also changes in this season. It is no longer simple or hopeful. Love now comes with fear of loss. Characters are afraid to get too close because they know how easily everything can be taken away. Small moments of happiness feel fragile, like they could break at any second. This makes relationships feel intense but uncertain. Season 6 shows how love can both heal and hurt when the future feels unstable. The weight of adulthood begins to press down harder as the season continues. Decisions start to matter in ways they never did before. Leaving Hawkins means leaving people behind. Staying means facing the same fear again and again. There is no choice that feels safe. The group slowly realizes that they cannot all walk the same path anymore. This realization is painful, but unavoidable. Growing up is not about choosing what you want. It is about accepting what you cannot keep. Season 6 does not treat this change as a failure. It treats it as a truth. Childhood ends even when you are not ready. The bond between the group does not disappear, but it changes shape. It becomes quieter, deeper, and more complicated. This season reminds us that some goodbyes do not happen all at once. They happen slowly through missed moments, unspoken words, and the quiet understanding that life is moving on. Hawkins is no longer just a setting in Season 6. It feels alive, wounded, and uneasy. The town carries scars that never fully healed. Buildings may look repaired, roads may be open again, but something underneath is still broken. People sense it even if they cannot explain it. There is a feeling that the ground itself remembers what happened. The air feels heavier, and silence feels louder. Hawkins has become a place where normal life and fear exist side by side, never fully separating. This season treats the town as a character that has been changed forever. The people of Hawkins are trying to move forward, but denial shapes many of their choices. Some refuse to believe anything strange ever happened. Others know the truth, but are too afraid to face it. This creates a dangerous mix of silence and lies. Rumors spread faster than facts. Survivors are judged, blamed, and sometimes avoided. Instead of supporting each other, the town turns inward. Fear becomes easier to express as anger. Season 6 shows how communities can break when they refuse to confront reality. The government's presence adds another layer of tension. Official explanations feel empty and unconvincing. People sense that they are not being told the full truth, and that lack of honesty creates mistrust. The town feels watched but not protected. This uncertainty leaves space for something dark to grow again. When people do not feel safe, they stop believing in rules. And that opens the door for chaos. Season 6 explores how secrecy can be just as dangerous as monsters. Daily life in Hawkins feels wrong in subtle ways. Streetlights flicker too often. Power outages happen without reason. Sounds echo where they should not. These details matter because they show that the Upside Down never truly left. It did not need to invade again. It simply stayed, quietly blending into the world. The town becomes a thin layer between two realities, fragile and unstable. This makes every normal moment feel temporary, like it could break at any time. Hawkins also becomes a trap for those who stay. Leaving feels like escape, but staying feels like responsibility. Some characters feel tied to the town because they believe it is their duty to protect it. Others stay because fear follows them. Wherever they go, the town holds memories that cannot be erased. Every street reminds them of loss, survival, and unfinished business. Season 6 uses Hawkins to show how places can hold emotional weight, shaping the people who live there. By the end of this section of the story, it becomes clear that Hawkins is not just a backdrop for events. It is the final battleground, not because of one big fight, but because of everything it represents. Truth versus denial, fear versus courage, staying versus leaving. Season 6 makes it clear that as long as Hawkins remains broken, the story cannot truly end. The announcement trailer for Season 6 does not rely on loud action or clear answers. Instead, it speaks through mood, silence, and small details that are easy to miss. Every frame feels careful, as if nothing is shown by accident. The colors are colder, the lighting feels dimmer, and familiar places look slightly off. This visual shift tells the audience that the story has moved into a different phase. It is no longer about discovery. It is about consequence. The trailer makes it clear that what happened before cannot be undone, only faced. Sound plays a powerful role. In the trailer, there are long pauses where no music plays, only distant noise or low hums. These moments create discomfort. Silence becomes a warning instead of a break. When music does appear, it feels slow and heavy, like a memory returning rather than a call to action. This choice suggests that Season 6 will move at a different pace. It wants viewers to sit with emotions instead of rushing through them. The absence of noise is just as important as what is heard. The trailer also avoids showing a clear enemy. There is no obvious monster, no single face to fear. This absence is intentional. It suggests that the danger is not something that can be easily seen or defeated. The threat may come from inside the world itself or even inside the characters. Season 6 seems focused on internal battles as much as external ones. Fear, guilt, and doubt are treated as forces just as powerful as anything from the Upside Down. Another important detail is how the trailer uses familiar imagery in unfamiliar ways. Places the audience knows well feel empty or damaged. This creates a sense of loss. It reminds viewers of what once existed and what has been taken away. These visuals suggest that memory will play a major role in the season. Characters are not just fighting what is happening now. They are fighting what already happened and refuses to stay in the past. The trailer also hints at sacrifice without showing it directly. Small moments of hesitation, shared looks, and unfinished actions suggest that not everyone will walk away unchanged. Season 6 is not promising a simple or happy ending. It is preparing the audience for choices that come with real cost. The lack of clear answers in the trailer is not meant to confuse. It is meant to prepare viewers emotionally for a story that values meaning over spectacle. By the end of the trailer, one message becomes clear. Season 6 is not asking who will win, it is asking what the victory will cost. It invites the audience to look beyond monsters and focus on the emotional weight of survival. The story is no longer about stopping the end of the world. It is about living with the damage left behind.